Stress is unfortunately a daily part of our lives. Whether you're studying for your exams, trying to launch a brand new business, or trying to get a lot of work done in a short amount of time, stress can totally leave you frustrated and scattered to the point that you begin to procrastinate. So what are a couple of tips that you may not have heard of before to help you alleviate stress so you can get more done in less time? Let's take a look. Before we dive in, be sure to hit subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share this to your friends and family who are currently stressed out right now. On my mission to become unstoppable for my upcoming book, The Identity Gap, that'll be out later this year through Entrepreneur Magazine and Press in October, I looked at how do we alleviate stress from our lives and make sure that it doesn't derail us from our focus on what we've got to get done for the day. And what I discovered was truly fascinating. First of all, there are two different types of stress. The first one is positive and the second one is negative. So positive stress is where you may have a deadline that's looming. You're not overly anxious about it, but your adrenaline has increased and your focus has narrowed to the point where you just get it done in a short amount of time. But once that event is over, the stress function switches off. Then we have the negative stress. Now, when it comes to negative stress, this is where our fight or flight function is triggered. Now, the fight or flight function is in charge of helping you to flee a situation or fight a situation. When this function is triggered and it's stuck in the on position for far too long, that's where we experience anxiety and eventual and utter burnout. This is the one that we want to turn off the most and ensure that it's not coming on a daily basis to a large degree, because this will throw you out not just psychologically, but also biochemically, because it puts major stresses on various bodily functions in the body. And there are two powerful techniques to help you manage this type of stress. And the first one, and it's my personal favorite, it's called mental priming. What I do each and every morning is before I get to work, I sit down, put a meditation on, and in this self-recorded meditation that I've created, I visualize the day ahead of me. I rewind it, fast forward, rewind, and fast forward. This achieves a few different things. This primes your brain for the day ahead. So if you have a particular deadline that's happening, instead of stressing out about this particular deadline, you start to visualize yourself what you're doing the day after, the week, or even the year after that. What we find particularly with wedding events is that the bride or the groom, they visualize the actual wedding itself, but they can't see beyond this. So to the primal brain, this suddenly becomes a life or death situation, which is meant to be one of the happiest days of your life. By visualizing through the wedding or through the study, the exam, or writing or your business, whatever you've got to do right now, by visualizing through that difficult moment that you're starting to stress out about, you suddenly pop the cork and the pressure is relieved because your brain understands that life goes on after this event. So when you do this particular visualization, you're going to sit down, close your eyes, and in your mind's eye, you're going to visualize the day unfolding. So the particular events, the things that you've got to get done throughout the day, visualize yourself doing them with ease and grace. It's all coming into place. It's all simple. Nothing is stressing you out. It's all just flowing perfectly as you want it to. See yourself after the event, so that night, the day after, month, or year later. Rewind this event really fast, as if you've hit rewind on a DVD player or a digital movie. Fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind. Now repeat this back about 10 times. What this does is it tricks your brain into thinking that you've already been through the previously perceived stressful event. By doing this, the brain thinks, well, I've been here and done this before, I've got nothing to stress out about. That's when your shoulders relax, you get the task done quickly and easily, and most importantly, you don't get stressed out and you don't procrastinate. Do this technique to music in the background and it will ramp up those feelings and energy even more and relax you into the moment. Number 2, increase your tolerance for stress. What do I mean by this? Well, it's not just the psychological aspect of stress that we have to address, it's also the biological aspect of stress. Now, we know from various research papers from universities all around the world that something as simple as vitamin D deficiency can trigger anxiety and depression. Now, if you're deficient in vitamin D and you have a stressful experience come into your life, or you perceive it as stressful before you've done the mental priming step, then what happens is this vitamin D deficiency really sets you up for failure. If that's causing anxiety and depression in the background, it's going to amplify any negative event. You're most likely going to overreact. So something that's stressful to you may not be stressful or even come on the radar for someone else, but it's a result of this vitamin D deficiency. There are also other deficiencies that affect very real cognitive functions. So iodine and magnesium. Magnesium, if it's depleted incredibly low, that can in fact cause neurological disorders. Please speak to your doctor. If you're feeling flat, if you're feeling depressed or anxious, get your vitamin levels checked, your mineral levels checked, as well as ensuring that you don't have any food sensitivities. Now, food sensitivities are a big one for also triggering not just fatigue but behavior changes. And be sure to check out my last video on food sensitivities where I dive into it in detail. So there you have it. There are 2 powerful tips to help you reduce stress quickly. The first one, do your mental priming each and every morning, particularly around the event that you perceive is going to be stressful. And second of all, check your nutrition. If this is affecting your mood in any way, the stressful situations are just going to be amplified and it's going to become overwhelming. If you'd love to learn more, please head over to theidentitygap.co and take a quick 60-second survey that will help shape the upcoming book that will be out in October. And please share, like, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's been stressing you out lately and how you can apply these 2 powerful techniques. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.